Would an untalented man be able to compose the following satirical witticism? Go yourself.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. The absolute cringe of boomer libs must be studied. Here's about 100 very salty and doughy gray-haired boomer libs standing outside of the Stephen Colbert Late Show studio in New York protesting that a failing, unfunny late-night show has got the axe. And Stephen Colbert, in humiliation, has been fired. Colbert stays, Trump must go! Make Colbert president. It's brain rot. There's boomer brain rot, all right? And there's programming brain rot. And that's been going on with the Colbert Show for a long time. We just found out the real reason why Colbert was fired is because he was losing $40 million a year. That makes perfect financial sense. A show that employs 200 people? You must be we get more views than Stephen Colbert on a daily basis on our platforms, and we employ like 10 people at this channel. 20 if you include like every contractor and every person that we use. And this is like what I would consider a massive media company. 200 people work at the Colbert Show. They lose $40 million a year. Why wasn't this canceled the first season? It went on for 10 seasons. It's so utterly unfunny. It's so pathetic. Just a reminder of the quality of content that was produced by those 100 people.
Shiny, orange, and empty inside. I'd say you're a traffic cone, but I would swerve to avoid a traffic curve.
Oh, that's gonna leave a mark, Cuban.
Donald, do you know that to be a billionaire, you have to have the billion part in your bank account, not just the air.
Tom, you just fell into the shark tank.
Why were we canceled? Why? Oh, why? You know, it's amazing. The response to this has been pretty remarkable because it's actually proven exactly how decrepit and bankrupt these people are. They're not actually comedians. And they're propagandists who don't have creative bones in their entire body, and they don't have any capacity to thrill or delight an audience. That everybody is just a lobotomized, clapping seal, sitting there, suckling off the teat of a dying industry, which is the late night medium, which, of course, having online comedians or large shows like Andrew Schultz or Shane Gillis, and Theo Vaughn, these podcasts do 4, 5, 20x what Stephen Colbert's show does on a half of a penny of the actual budget. And so it just makes no sense in a modern comedy ecosystem and landscape to continue to push something like this. But it also makes no sense when you have untalented and unoriginal clowns who are leading late night. Jimmy Kimmel's spooked F-word rant over Colbert cancellation. Butt buddy of Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, said on Instagram, "You," to CBS. Got it. Okay. Ungrateful jackasses. And also uncreative. It's like the single most uncreative response, actually, is just saying F you, but that's all that Stephen Colbert could come up with in his official response to President Trump trolling him.
A completely unrelated story. On Friday, Donald Trump posted, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings." How dare you? How dare you, sir? Would an untalented man be able to compose the following satirical witticism? Go yourself. Yay, I clapped. I'm so smart. I'm so funny. I'm so original. Like, nobody's ever decided to use the F-bomb before. Here's Jon Stewart's response to his underling losing his position of power.
Go yourself!
So original. So funny.
Wait, bring it down, bring it down.
Wow.
Let me bring it down.
Good job,
Let it
Jon
get quiet.
Stewart. You're so funny.
Sell.
How'd you
Just
do
go
it?
sell.
Wow.
Everybody.
You're so good. Wow. You're so. It's so. This is comedy. You know, it's in moments like this that you actually should call back some of the legends and talk to people who created the medium and see how they did it. And it's this clip of Johnny Carson that's going so viral right now that really stands in such stark relief to the clownish buffoonery of these people who actually desecrate the legacies of greater comedians of whom shoulders they stand on, who built these things that they are desecrating. Jay Leno, David Letterman, Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson was asked, why don't you do more political comedy and take more political stances? I think it's a good time to actually answer that question from the legend himself.
Say, he'll never take a serious controversy. Well, I have an answer to that. I said, now, tell me the last time that Jack Benny, Red Skelton, any comedian, used his show to do serious issues. That's not what I'm there for. Can't they see that? But you're not. Why do they think that just because you have a Tonight Show that you must deal in serious issues? It's a danger. It's a real danger. Once you start that, you start to get that self-important feeling that what you say has great import. And you know, strangely enough, you could use that show as a forum. You could sway people, and I don't think you should as an entertainer.
What a class. It's so great to watch some of these classic old actors, actresses, reporters, people who actually lived in a world that had standards where your word meant something, where your craft and your art meant something. What Johnny Carson's really saying there is, I'm going to piss off half my audience if I do this. I might feel really good about myself, but it's not worth pissing. It's not worth enraging my audience. It's not worth insulting my audience because my audience is 50-50. The country is split sort of down the middle on a lot of things. And either way, nobody wants to see modern day politics brought into the pulpit or comedy or into sports. These are pressure release valves for our society. We shouldn't be ramping up the pressure. We should be releasing it. We should be able to have places like a comedy, stand-up comedy house, or a place like a sports arena, or a late night show that's subsidized, of course, by the American taxpayer because of the broadcast on CBS, NBC, and ABC. These are all corporate public broadcast subsidiaries. We should be able to remove ourselves from the poison of the national political dialogue and have a laugh. And you can't do that if there's only one party that is the political punchline every single time, and it becomes just a sort of screed, right? Like, it's amazing to look through the guests that Stephen Colbert had. It had just turned into a MSNBC show. It was just pure political punditry. Elizabeth Warren did the show like 20 times. Bernie Sanders did the show like 20 times. Rachel Maddow did the show like 10 times. All these Democrat members of Congress. It's a joke. Those who thought Jon Stewart might quit last night over Colbert didn't have it quite right. Instead, he protected his millions, his vanity, and his pathetic dollop of power and sang a mean song, says Megyn Kelly. Yeah, they all did the same thing. They've all done the exact same thing. Not a single one of them wrote an original joke. Not a single one of them did anything that would even remotely come close to original content or comedy or handling this well. In fact, Stephen Colbert decided to do a kiss cam segment that featured buffoons like John Oliver and Jon Stewart, and then had Donald Trump and Paramount together.
These two.
Right.
Uh-oh.
So even in his total and complete disgrace, he can't help himself. But to prove the worst instincts of the woke, to attack the hand who feeds you,
to insult the actual companies that make your stupid shows possible, because none of you would be able to actually create anything by yourself. Who do you think pays the salary? Who do you think subsidized that $40 million a year, Stephen Colbert? The people who actually give you fame, none of you would ever be able to actually cut it. None of you have the talent to actually cut it and do it and start from zero, start from scratch and build. No, it's a humiliation. And you disgrace the art form of those who came before you who are better than you at this. But that's okay, because we don't need you anymore. And there are vectors there. We've democratized, I guess, in our own way, the way that people get entertained and the way that people find comedians, and that pressure release valve is no longer on you, and you can no longer abuse this power. It's a good thing. That's a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. And one more nail in the coffin of the woke. Go woke, go broke. True as this ever been. It's your boy Manny. Like, share, and subscribe.